Michael, since the time he was born, he has stayed very much true to his character. We went in expecting to be born early on the day we were going to be induced that day. And sure enough, he held out until 7 o'clock that evening when he had to be born by C-section. And that's been Michael's life. He does what he wants when he wants, so to speak. He is really a loving child, a very outgoing child. He gets along with everybody and he has a really good nature about him. He's always an athletic boy, played soccer, things like that. I've always been very proud of him, and other people will never be able to understand the bond that he and I have, which I think the accident and the time we spent after that highlighted even more. It was October 21st of 2019. He was 6 years old at the time. He and his brother and sister and I were home. We were playing in the yard, football, throwing it around and everything. Everybody was very excited because we were going to be having a big Halloween party that weekend. We have a lot of trees on the property, so I wanted to get the leaves up. I was trying to get things done in a hurry, so I had a riding lawnmower. I told the kids they stay at one side of the yard and play while I was back where the trees were and was going to mulch the leaves. And at one point, I was moving quickly because I was trying to get done because I wanted to pick up where I left off with them. And I reversed the mower quickly and hit something. And I couldn't figure out the mower stopped. And two things that don't make sense. I was in the yard, there was nothing there, I had no idea. I got off of the mower, and the worst vision you could possibly ever imagine is Michael, his legs were underneath the mower, and he was holding onto the mower. Immediately, I saw the extent of the wound, and he saw it at the same time, and that was the only time he started saying he was going to die, and I said, "No, you're not going to die, Dad. He's not going to let you die." Being a Marine, I always had a belt on. I ripped my belt off and I used it as a hasty tourniquet and got that on there. And thank goodness I had my cell phone, so I called 911. So I just kept talking to him. And it's, you're trying to think of things to talk about because you're trying to keep them from going into shock. And you're talking to a 6-year-old boy in incredible, exigent circumstances. And, I've been fortunate in my life to have been around some what I consider some very brave people, very tough people. But for a 6-year-old to have sort of a presence of mind in a situation like that, I can't even imagine how I would be able reacting in that. What's amazing about Michael is the bearing and composure that he had despite everything that was going on. He said, "You're going to remember me, Dad. You're going to remember me." I said, "I'm not going to have to remember you, Michael. You're not going anywhere." And we managed to get the blades off, and they got him in the ambulance. And I said, Mike, and I had been telling him this even as they were extraditing. I said, "Mike, you're like a Marine in Afghanistan." I said, "You've been hurt pretty bad. You're going to be okay."
When I saw it, I was like, man, that doesn't scare me at all. And my daddy did the right things. He had his belt on, he took it off right away. He got his phone, called 911, the policeman. He took out something giant and put it on the blade, and it cut it. And it cuts through metal immediately in emergencies. And they got me in the hospital. But also, I'm getting, this might sound a little cool, I'm gonna get a robot leg. And I'm gonna ask for it to be American flag. And that's all the stuff that happened to me. And I'm in the hospital getting better and better every single day. So I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. Bye.
By the next day after the accident, your mind is just, what are we going to do now? But I can point to one specific moment, and that was when the supervisor and an agent from the Allentown office just showing up with a check, and telling us that this is from everybody at our office. They said the Agent Association is moving. And then all of a sudden, we began to get cards and letters written out from folks from the part of the Agent Association, retired folks. I remember getting cards from the West Coast. And everybody put something in the cards. And then other agents show up. Some folks from Newark showed up, or some folks from Philadelphia showed up. And they would bring a Lego set. I mean, Michael would light up for that. As the days went by, you start to feel like, okay. The moments when you felt you're alone, or it's, I was like, how are we going to get through this? And you start feeling those people come around you, that cocoon, that hug from the other agents. And I said, we're not alone, I'm not here by myself dealing with this thing. I have people who, if I need a ride, if I need whatever, people will be here to help me no matter what we need to get through this. Between the Agents Association contacting me, fellow agents, the closest office, Allentown RA of the Philadelphia office, physically coming and visiting me and talking to me and telling everything, and my SAC, Greg Erie, I felt, I think things are going to be okay. The thing that has impressed me is how he has dealt with it mentally. I had a vision for how things would come together for his life, but he has accelerated even beyond that. To this day, even past his accident, I joke that he does more with one leg than I ever did with two. He got back into playing soccer. He began wrestling. Now he is playing lacrosse. So he has no qualms, and I see him interacting with other kids, and he is out there just in the mix with everybody. There's no hanging back or self-pity. And I hope that continues and he builds on that, and that carries him through for the rest of his life. Because of the Agents Association and their assistance, we were able to get through what I could never imagine as being probably the worst day our family could have ever experienced. We were able to begin to think positively about our situation moving forward. There's no way that I would be able to reach out and thank those people. The amount of concern and care that everyone across the association reaching out and doing whatever they could do, or asking what needed to be done. I'd like this opportunity to be able to finally, hopefully, be able to say thank you for what that meant to myself and my family at our most dire time.